the New York Giants might have already found their cornerback one of the future, and it might be a guy that they have already drafted, and that is Cordell Flott. Cordell Flott's having an amazing season, winning the starting job over Deontay Banks, a guy that was a first-round pick, who was a high-thought-of talent, bringing him in from Maryland. He unfortunately has not lived up to the hopes and expectations of the New York Giants organization. So the Giants had a battle throughout training camp and preseason, even the first couple of weeks of the regular season. But Cordell Flott just taking that job and ran away with it. Cordell Flott on the season has his career high or tied his career high in pass deflection with 7, which is top 10 in the NFL. He has an interception that won for 68 yards, which was the game-sealing pick versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And he's been pretty locked down all year. He's one of the 3 corners that have been targeted 30-plus times in the NFL season that has not allowed a touchdown. Here are some of the names he's up there with. It's a pretty decent list to be up there with. He's up there with Max Melton and Kobe Durant of the Los Angeles Rams. He's been targeted 37 times, which is the most targets of an NFL corner this season that has not allowed a touchdown. So he's in some interesting company. I mean, not only is Cordell Flott just improved as a corner, but compared to last year, some of the plays he's been making, I mean, you look at these metrics too. He's also 57.5 rating against when he's targeted, 5.7 yards per target allowed, negative 12.8 opponent EPA, and he only allows 1.8 yards of separation. So he's been pretty strapped, and he's only been like the number 2 corner, but most of the times when the challenges going against him, I'm going to show you some of his highlights right here of how some of the differences he's made this year. Here's his first play. This was a play to Troy Franklin that he stays with him, gets in front, doesn't allow play get behind him. I mean, not only is his tackling getting better, he was only 170 pounds coming in, and I think he's put on like at least like 15 pounds. But his tackling was an issue for him because of his being undersized. But him being able to make tackles now, look, there's another him. He just stays stride for stride of the player too. So it's not like, look, when Marvin Mims tries to get him, he just stays with him, makes it a hard play. Just pass deflection right there. Tries to make a hard catch, can't do it. I'm trying to get to my favorite play, which is right here. This was a game-changer play. Unfortunately, the Giants did not win this game, and it was a historical loss. The team had never recovered from this, but Cordell Flott was a bright spot in this game, and he was one of the few. Right here, boom. And this is a catch. This is a catch if Cordell Flott doesn't just make a play on the football. He only allowed 2. I think he only was 2 catches for 19 yards all game. He was straps. Him and Paulson Adebo. I mean, when Paulson Adebo went out the game and Deontay Banks came in, it was a completely different game. They were targeting him, running towards his way. But now with Cordell Flott and Paulson Adebo being the boundary corners, the Giants cannot afford to lose a talent like Cordell Flott. With him only being 24 years old, and he needs an upcoming contract extension. Like Cordell Flott. Cordell Flott has actually been a gift. He's a 3rd-round pick, and we wouldn't expect him to be the starter with having Deontay Banks. And unfortunately, Deontay Banks is not what we thought he was going to be. But having Cordell Flott now, you have to extend it. Him and Jermaine Illuminor are 2 guys that I feel like that need to be an extension this offseason. But Cordell Flott, he only allowed it's 2 catches for 19 yards on 10 targets in the Denver Broncos game. And he was also the highest rated cornerback in Week 7. So this is a rising star. I kind of view it more for like how Christian Benford was at the Buffalo Bills. He kind of rotated in outside corner next to Teron Johnson and Rasul Douglas. And Kyrie Elam was like their 1st-round pick, that guy that was supposed to be the starter, but like he kind of outbeat him for the starting job. It's very similar to the Christian Benford and Kyrie Elam battle is kind of similar to this Banks and Cordell Flott. So it's really good to see that Cordell Flott's been a riser. I think this draft class, the 2022 draft class, Joe Shane's first one, was kind of getting too much hate. But you look back at the draft class, you got Kayvon Thibodeau, a complete player. Guy is actually 2nd in run stopping this year, which you might not show up. That might not show up in the stat sheet, but that's hard to find as an edge rusher. You might be looking like, oh, he's got the sacks, but he's a complete player. He's a complete edge rusher. He's not going to be like 800. He's not going to be a superstar. He's not going to be a household name, but he's going to be a winning player. And I think you need to extend him. Michael McFadden's another one, but Darius Muasau is feeling great with him because him being hurt. So you also got Darius Muasau. But from that draft class, you got Kayvon Thibodeau, Evan Neal. He's a bum. I don't really know why the guy's on the team. He's taking up a roster spot. He's not even dressing, so he's not even a depth piece, but he's not doing too good. And then the 2nd round, Wanda Robinson. He's another guy that could be extended. His expected contract is probably around $14.5 million is what I think what Spotcheck had it at. So I think if you could possibly bring him back, but I think the thing they're going to run into is how they did just pay Darius Slayton. He's making about 12 in the book, so it's like you're in a hard situation. So if I think anything, you probably trade Slayton. I don't think Slayton is a good receiver to be a starter. I think if anything, he's number 4. Slayton's is he's too limited as a receiver. I mean, he's got like a vertical speed. You can run like a vertical route with him. But if you want to run a more like complex route tree, like you want to run China routes, you want to run corners, You can't really do that with Slayton. Slayton's more of like a go route receiver. He can run like a comeback, but he's not gonna run like an angle route. He's not one of those type of receivers. And Jalen Hyatt's not gonna work out. But go back to that draft class. Then you got Warner Robinson, Cordell Flott in the third round, Josh Azudo, who wasn't very good. And then you got McFadden in that draft class, and it's looking pretty good. And even Dane Belton. So that draft class looked pretty good. The year after, that was bad. So that whole draft class, John Michael Schmitz is looking a little better, but like I don't know how much better he could really be from what he is now. But I think Cordell Flott needs to be resigned by the Giants. Jermaine Illuminor and Cordell Flott, I think, are the two things the Giants need to get this 2 contract extensions done before the season ends. Because I feel like if Joe Shane knows he's going to be here next year, those are 2 guys you're going to hope they're going to be here. Because then you got your corner positions filled. Like you got Polson Dealy just paid, Cordell Flott, and then Drew Phillips, who's been struggling this year. I think he's the top 3 most yards in the NFL in the cornerback position. So he's going to work better at that, but he's a really good tackler, and he's a difference maker when you need him to be. He's a good tackler. So it's hard to find corners like that, and he's a physical football player. And he does make pass deflections sometimes, and he's not as bad. I think he's just having a bad second year, and he needs to fix his penalties. But I think you would have your top 3 corner positions like filled for next year. So you would use that first round pick. You wouldn't have to use that in the corner unless you really want to, and you don't get Cordell Flott back. But I think they need to avoid the same mistake they made losing Xavier McKinney and Julian Love, because losing Julian Love and McKinney together, it made the Giants have to reset the safety position. They had to go out and get Javon Hollins, put more money there. And then they had to use another pick on Tyler Newman, a guy that's not looking too good right now. So just make sure you pay your guys that are looking to be a promising player. But yeah, so I think Cordell Flott, I think they need to bring him back. That's pretty much about it for this video. Let me know what you think about Cordell Flott. If you think the Giants should sign him back or they should look somewhere else. If you don't think he's all that. But personally, I think the Giants are a young team heading the right way. You got young pieces like Dart, Flott, Neighbors. You got Andrew Phillips. You got Brian Bird. Like you got all these young players. The team is kind of piecing together. They blew a lead. They should really be 4-3 right now if you think about it. Even 5-2 if we just had the defensive coordinator. So the right pieces are coming together. I think at this point it's a matter of coaching and just re-signing them. So let me know what you think about Cordell Flott and other players the Giants should re-sign. But that's about it for this video. See you guys in the next one.